Yo, welcome back to Tallinn, Estonia. This is like the bonus episode. If you haven't seen the first episode, that's where I explore Tallinn in its fullest, from the old medieval town to the old Soviet fingertips that are left around the place. So today I'm going to explore some of the cooler, lesser known sites around Estonia or Tallinn. So let's go. I need to go rent an e-scooter because I have about 5 or 6 hours to go see all of these things that I want to see. Let's move. Okay, right, let's roll. Maps, let's turn this on. Load. Walk, start. Let's go load. Alright, let's roll. Ferry terminal, some contemporary housing. So go see my first Tallinn vlog to see more of this here. What a nice spot. Jeez, it's about fucking 5 degrees and my man's out here running with no shirt on. Jesus. Okay, Android. Good. $4.50 for that e-scooter ride. Yeah, looks like it. So. The Estonian History Museum. Okay. Okay, so I think this is where we're going. Hello.
You have already tickets from museum.
Yes, I'm good.
Our cloakroom is here.
Okay.
And all our exhibitions are to this direction.
Okay.
Main exhibition, Estonian history, from the beginning of last century till nowadays, is upstairs on the
Okay.
right side.
Right side.
But all the rooms, it's totally changed, different,
Okay.
destroyed and so on.
Destroyed and rebuilt. Okay, thank you. Okay, so look at this cool old car. Ah, look at these Soviet paintings. Now, and you can see the Soviet Red Army pictures, murals, and you can see the rockets behind them and the artillery in their hands. Look at all these flags. The hammer and sickle display, that's really interesting. The date of 1987 is on this one. The cosmonauts, like Yuri Gagarin. The Vostok 1 maybe up there. And this is interesting, so they have the Belarus flag up there. What else can I see that I recognise? So look, this is just some men working on industrial work. But it's all like, it's all very romantic. And you have the women here, the mothers, with the kids. You actually have someone with like holding a harp here, which is also interesting. I'm not sure what that's supposed to symbolise. Oh, look at this. Mr. Vladimir Lenin just inscribed here in the back, and it's quite difficult to see him. What else do we have? It's a really interesting painting. Okay, so they look like firemen, or maybe not firemen, but they're workers of some sorts. Here again, building railways. And this is, yeah, some sort of engineer. And in the Soviet Union symbol, the reed with the star at the top and the hammer and sickle in the middle. The same over here. And again, some of the women with some fruit on their heads. I wonder if this is kind of depicting a lot of the different cultures that were in the Soviet Union. Because you have all the flags up here, different flags. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Look at this, it says something like about the Communist Party and a little booklet. It's a party ticket. Look at the quality of this jacket. Like, and you'd probably need that in winters up here that were absolutely perishing. And look, the little kind of hip flask or canteen here on the side. That's really cool. And they've got a little armband there saying something, I'm not sure what it says. But yeah. 3D glasses. What them 3D glasses were for. Let's have a look at the gardens here, because I think there's a very famous garden and there's famous people in this garden, so let's have a look. So this is a statue of Joseph Stalin. These are far harder to come by than statues of Vladimir Lenin, of course, because a lot of these were pulled down during the subsequent reigns of other leaders of the Soviet Union because of the atrocities that occurred under him. Obviously, he was the beginning, with most notable atrocities happened under Joseph Stalin's reign. So in subsequent reigns of Brezhnev, Khrushchev, all these guys, they decided to get rid of all of the Joseph Stalin statues because it was a dark period for the Soviet Union. Some will say that the whole period was dark, but that's for others to comment on, not me. But yeah, what a collection of old Soviet statues and relics here. It's a really, really cool collection, and one that's kind of tucked away and that not many people talk about. I suppose there's an element of the Estonians being not proud of it, but it's very interesting to have it, to remember it and to learn from it, so that these things can't happen again. Like the Soviets did themselves, they erased a lot of parts of history, and you don't want to erase the bad parts of history either. Now it's time to move on and go somewhere else. But look at these brilliant statues, these brutalist statues that are so typical, or would have been so typically found in the Soviet Union. And it's time to move on now. So you can see all the names here of the people who lost their lives during the communist reigns on either side. And I visited this place, but from above my last vlog. So if you want to see more on this area, go watch the last vlog. Nice views of the city over there, straight ahead, to the right slightly. So that is the Hotel Viru, which is located here in the heart of Tallinn, and it was built in the 70s, and it was built as a primary espionage centre for the KGB and the USSR, for any foreign people that came and visited the Soviet Union. And look at it there, and there's a tourist attraction on the 23rd floor. We're going to go explore and have a look at the secret espionage floor that was only discovered in the fall of the Soviet Union. So this must be where the museum is. I'll see if I can. There's a lot of Soviet stuff out here. I'll see if I can get a ticket now. So this is what it looks like inside it now. It's still got kind of a classy / Soviet decor style to it, but you can see the grand piano over there. I'm not sure if I can actually go and see this tour now because I didn't book online. I thought it was just kind of a walk in and you'd walk around it. I didn't think you had to be brought on a tour, but let's see if we can find someone to ask. Alrighty, so I managed to get a ticket in the end for the last English tour of the evening, so I got pretty lucky with that. And then we were brought up to the 23rd floor, a floor that officially never existed. During the Soviet times then, there was a secret KGB surveillance centre, and that was used to monitor all of the foreign tourists staying in Tallinn. Only around 60 rooms in the hotel were ever actually assigned to foreigners, and if you came back, you'd be given the exact same room every time. Locals were never allowed to stay here, they weren't allowed to stay for leisure, they were only allowed to work there. And the rooms up here are filled with old surveillance equipment, so the devices used to listen in on guests who had no idea that they were being watched or listened to. And then, just 4 months before the collapse of the actual Soviet Union, the KGB vanished overnight, no warning, just gone. And some of the workers had their suspicions alright about this floor, but even after it all ended, the paranoia lingered. And now it's just a museum with some of the best views of Tallinn. Okay, so that was Hotel Viru right up there behind me, and that was the old KGB watchtower. So we're going to see if we can fit in just one more place, and if we can it'll be quite cool, but no promises. And I have to make to the airport in about an hour and a half, but I want to make it to one more place, so let's see. So I'm just outside it. It is just here, KGB prison cells. So let's see what it's like. They're open, come in. Hello. So now I'm walking through the narrow corridors into the small concrete rooms where people were actually held, interrogated, and in many cases they never ended up coming back out. Each cell in here tells a different story, names, dates, fragments of life that were cut short during the Soviet Union, and some of the prisoners were actually executed in here. Others were sent away to forced labour camps across the Soviet Union, places most would never actually return from. They even show some of the methods used in interrogation. There's one in particular, a narrow standing cell barely wide enough for a person to stand upright, no room to sit in, no room to move. People were kept inside for hours, sometimes days, just to break them. And as you walk through, you start to realise this wasn't random. It was fairly systematic. There are records here of officers who ran the prison, the NKVD, later the KGB. Some of the most feared figures in the system, men who built their reputations inside places exactly like this. And what's unsettling is how normal it actually all looks. Quiet rooms, plain walls, a bit of paint scattered here and there. But not that long ago, this place was somewhere that people entered, and then they probably knew that they were never going to leave. And many, they didn't really. Yeah, you really got a kind of an eerie feeling inside the halls of this place once you got inside the door. A bit like Alcatraz. I was there a couple of years ago. You get the eerie feeling that bad stuff happened in here. Okay guys, so that brings an end to the Estonia vlog series. Today we spent the day visiting some old museums and a lot of the stuff connected to the KGB to try and bring it round circle. This is the history that Estonia wants to forget, or is trying to remove itself from. It never wanted this history, but it has it. And we're going to wind down this video. Thank you very much for watching. There's bigger trips coming. There's bigger summer trips coming. And I'm David Without Borders. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for the bigger and better trips to come, and I'm improving all the time, and I hope to give you a better product in future. So thank you all for watching, and hit the subscribe button please. David Without Borders is out.